Yay Networks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. And I am Kellie Raspberry Evans, and I am here by myself in the office, what has now become my office again inside Evans Manor. Alan is still up in Sturgis, South Dakota, having just a wonderful time. So wonderful, in fact. We didn't even speak last night before we went to bed. I passed out while he was out checking out the sights and sounds of Sturgis during this big motorcycle rally they have up there. But anyway, it's the middle of the afternoon on Wednesday when I'm finally just squeezing in some time to do a podcast for you guys. Y'all were so awesome last week. Alan and I were both in two separate places and couldn't really figure out how to make a podcast work, but we didn't want to jit the listener and not do another podcast this week. And it's also sponsored, so there's that. But I just wanted to pop on a little bit. It has been the craziest week. First of all, today, when I'm recording this, it's Wednesday, August 11th. My daughter has begun her first day of high school, 9th grade. And, you know, it's just been all the drama getting ready for this first day of 9th grade. Now, I have taken Emma Kellie over the course of the past month. We go to the mall, we try to go shopping. Either she's not in the mood, or there's too many people in the store, or there's always something, right? And I keep telling her, you know, we need to get something. I know how important the first day of school is to you and what you wear. It's all a big deal. And so we've been trying to do some back to school shopping. So finally, let's see. So Monday, this is Wednesday. So Monday, we go out. Last minute panic trying to find everything she needs. And of course, everything's sold out. She wants white high top Converse, black high top Converse. She has to have this certain backpack, all gone. Everything has to be ordered online. And she's not in the mood to shop for clothes. She's like, I'm sure I have something at the house. Sure, I have something. Okay. Well, if you're not familiar, and Alan's not here to mock me when I say this, but I work for the nationally syndicated Kid Craddock morning show. Dime. I went ahead and did it for Alan, dropping that dime. But anyway, I have never been able to take Emma Kellie to her first day of school, except for one time, way back when Emma Kellie was going to pre-K. And, in my mind, that was a huge, monumental day in her life. Now, granted, it's one that Emma Kellie cannot remember, but I remember it very vividly. And I wanted to be there. I just thought, I'd missed so much working morning radio. I had a nanny named Nanny Laura that always was so great, but she got to wake up with Emma Kellie, during the week. I got her on the weekends, but, there's a lot I missed not being there, to see her in the mornings, and, getting ready for school is one of those things. And I didn't want to miss her first day. So Kid said, oh, you can do it, but you're going to have to be on the air. So we had an engineer, Rob Chickering, came out to my house. I don't even remember, probably like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, to set up the microphones and all this stuff and make it portable, because I was going to be, driving to school with her. And well, at first I didn't know that. I thought I was just doing it from my house. And I was like, okay, well, I'm getting ready to leave now. Laura still got Emma Kellie up and got her ready while I'm doing the morning show. And I was like, okay, Kid, well, I'm going to leave now and go take her to school. He's like, oh, no, you're not. You're taking us with you in the car. I was so mad. So I somehow managed the engineer, Rob, gets in the car with me and Emma Kellie, Nanny Laura's. It was just a mess. And her dad, Freddie, we weren't married at the time, obviously, and he was going to meet us there. So I show up. Well, let me just tell you about this. The whole drive there, the whole drive to school, Kid did not even come to me. Didn't come to me. Just doing other bits and playing commercials. I was furious. So by the time we get to school and we're getting ready to get out of the car, now he wants to come to me. And I said, Kid, I don't have permission to be here. It was a little private, little Bible, Christian Bible church preschool. I said, I don't have permission from the principal or anybody to be here. I just can't come up with all this equipment and stuff. And he's like, yes, you can. So and my ex-husband's standing there. He's mad. Emma Kellie doesn't know what's going on. She's got her face trying to bury it in my butt. She's shy. It was just a huge disaster. So that was my one and only experience taking my daughter to school. And I learned really quick on days like where it works out with the morning show where I happen to be off on one of her school days, like it was a holiday for me, but not for her. And those days I could get up and make her breakfast and make sure she gets out the door. Let me just tell you, it wasn't that great. She's grumpy, cranky. So the romantic idea about taking my child to school kind of went out the window, and it's just part of my job I accepted. So anyway, I knew I wasn't going to be able to take her today. Her dad's out of town, but her stepmom graciously said, I'll take her. And it's great because Dana can also do Emma Kellie's hair. Having your hair looking right the first day of school is a big deal too. And this is another reason, everybody, you need to be nice with your ex's current wife or husband. It makes life a whole lot easier. I'm just telling you, that's your little side note. But so last night we're getting Emma Kellie packed. It's about, I'd say 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And she's up there and she's like, Mom, come help me. Mom, come help me. I'm like, what is going on? Dry my hair for me. I don't know. I was like, Emma Kellie, you're going into 9th grade. You know how to dry your hair. Just do it for me. She was nervous, anxious. I get it. I'm going to do it for her. So I dry her hair. Dana's going to fix it for her this morning. So last night I dried it. So at least she'd go to bed with decent looking hair. It does make a difference when you go to bed with neat hair. And then she goes to her closet and pulls out a winter sweater and her jeans and her Doc Martin boots. Now this is Plano, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, Texas. Let me just see. It's now, I'm recording this at 2:49 in the afternoon. Let me just tell you what the temperature is right now. All right, right now, it is 97 degrees. The heat index feels like 102. And my daughter wanted to wear a literal winter sweater, not one of those cute little hoodies all the kids are wearing with shorts and their little Doc Martin sandals. No, she wanted to wear a winter sweater. And I said no. I put my foot down and she got really upset with me. And I started showing her the t-shirts she had. And of course, none of the t-shirts were good enough. Now they're all embarrassing. And she's gone on this. I told her I'd buy her school clothes. I said, I'm happy to buy you school clothes for all this. She gets allowance to buy, junk she wants to blow her money on. But school clothes I buy for her. And she wanted all these slip dresses with spaghetti straps. And I said, that's fine. I don't mind you wearing these to school, but you have to have a jacket or some sort of little cardigan to wear over it because you can't wear spaghetti straps to school. That's against dress code. Well, of course, hasn't bothered to order anything. I can't find anything I like. I don't want anything. So we've got a whole wardrobe of dresses she can't wear. And then she picked something she got. I don't even know. We go thrift shopping. Is anyone familiar with the Sag Harbor line of clothing? Sag Harbor is a line of clothing, if you're not familiar, that is, I am a member, if I wish to be, a member of AARP once I hit the age of 50. Sag Harbor clothes are too old for me to wear. All right? They're too old for me to wear. I would say my mother might be too young for Sag Harbor, and she is, a spry 70-something. But my daughter has this Sag Harper-esque blouse she wants to wear. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, not on the first day of school. You maybe once you get your clique and your jam and you're hanging out with friends and that's part of your bit. But I was like, if she goes to first day of school in that, this is not going to be great. So we're standing there in her closet and I just, there's a lot of back and forth. And I finally said, listen, and she'll listen to everybody's opinion over mine. I know your kids are like that too. And I think she would listen to her stepmom over mine. I said, put this t-shirt, this Sag Harbor, I didn't tell her this old lady Sag Harbor looking shirt and your winter sweater in your bag, put it in the car and we're going to go let Dana pick what you're going to wear. And of course, now we're both kind of puffing and huffing at each other. And I say, look, okay, now it's almost 7 o'clock. We're going to go to the mall and we're going to try to find you something to wear for the back to school. And I'll tell you how that went. Y'all, it's just, believe me, this has just been one of those weeks. But I'll tell you what, when I need to check out from the stress, from thinking too hard about things, about going over my ever-growing to-do list, I just pull out my phone and I'm like, okay, I'm going to decompress with some Best Fiends. Yes, Alan's not here to say Best Fiends. That's right. Best Fiends is everything I love about a free to download mobile game. All right. It's really casual. It's just a little bit of a challenge on certain levels, but I'll tell you, after a few tries, I can get past it, which gives you that sense of accomplishment. I can't put it down, but after a while, I finally do when I'm like, okay, I feel like I've decompressed enough. And it's just so fun. If you like those like match games, those match 3 games, it's sort of along those lines. But there's these cute little characters, these little bugs, these little fiends. And your goal is to get past all these levels. You collect these little cute bugs, and they're going to help you as you kill the slugs. I know it sounds crazy, but it's fun. And you get to travel through all these little fun little bug lands. You get to win little prizes every day. You get superpowers sometimes. Listen, it's a lot of fun. Every night at night before I go to bed, Alan yells to me from the other room. He's not here to do it now. Get it, babe. Kill them slugs. And I do. I've killed a lot of slugs, but I've got more to kill because there are so many levels. I'll never get to the end of it. They're adding new levels, new fun levels every day to the thousands they already have. There are more characters waiting for me to collect, more slugs for me to kill. Who says kids can have all the fun? You can feel like a kid again with Best Fiends. Best Fiends, the fun game for grown-ups. And if you would like to check it out and decompress a little bit, download the 5-star rated puzzle game right now, Best Fiends. Download it free today on the App Store or Google Play. Download the 5-star rated puzzle game Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. Man, I really do need Alan here for those things. Those are harder than I thought by myself. All right, so Emma Kelly and I, we go to the mall. And she doesn't even ask me to go to Barnes & Noble, which she knows. I'm over this. We're just going to get you some stuff to wear, and we're going home. She didn't say anything about Barnes & Noble, which shows you how serious she knew I was about this. So we go. I say, you pick the stores we're going to. I'm not going to make a suggestion. So she picked the first store we went to, and we go in, and everything I pick up, I don't like it. No. Not even, no, just no. I have no idea. I mean, and then the cute little sales girl comes up and she's like, what are you shopping for? First day of school. And she actually went to the same school Emma Kelly went. Now she's already graduated and working at the mall, which is fine, and I worked in the mall until, I was old. But she was like, oh, girl, I got you. I said, if you can pull some stuff that my daughter will wear to school, you will be my biggest hero. So she goes through that store. It's her mission. And Emma Kelly, meantime, and I are going through the racks. No. And the girl comes over with stacks of stuff. And Emma Kelly takes one look at it. And the girl says, I'm not even going to show you the rest. Why don't you just tell me what you like, what kind of style you like, and that will help me. And of course, the first thing Emma Kelly does is look at me. And I say, well, she's kind of into, I think, the 90s kind of vibe. And she, because she really likes the Gilmore Girls and loves Lorelai Gilmore's vibe, if any of you are watching that. And the woman's like, I got you. And she walks away. And as soon as she does, Emma Kelly says, it's the 2000s. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I went back to the lady. I said, I'm sorry. It's not the 90s. It's the 2000s. So she goes through, tearing through, trying to find clothes again. In the meantime, I find one long sleeve t-shirt that somehow makes it past the Emma Kelly test. I think it's a Journey t-shirt, the band Journey. And she's like, it's okay, I guess. I was like, sold. We'll take it. So we bought the one long sleeve t-shirt. I'm like, we still don't have something appropriate. So then we went to the next store and it's again the same thing. No. We finally went to, they have a unisex section. It was what's that? PacSun at the mall. And we go to the unisex section of shirts and she finds like 3 t-shirts she likes. And as we're waiting in checkout line, somebody had picked up a one-size-fits-all mammoth short-sleeve shirt. They kind of tossed it to the side and Emma Kelly picked it up and said she kind of liked that too. Done. 4 t-shirts. We were out. And on the way out of the mall, I even told Emma Kelly, I said, I was so frustrated. I was about to start crying because I didn't know what to do at this point. And I said, I'm so frustrated. I want an Auntie Anne's pretzel. And she's like, oh yeah, I'd like one too. And of course we get there and the line is wrapped around the building. I'm like, what the heck? Everybody loves Auntie Anne's. So we didn't get one. Went to Dana's house. Very lovely. Dana, fed her supper because Listen, it was so stressful, I forgot to feed my kid. I would have given her an Auntie Anne's pretzel for supper, not even realizing she hadn't had supper. So she fed Emma Kellie, and this morning got her up. And Emma Kellie has to be at school because of her late schedule a little later than normal, and they were going to leave the house at 8:15. So I figured, okay, I'm going to call her about 7:30 just to wish her good morning and good luck during my commercial break. I call her at 7:30 and wake her up. It's her first day of school. She only needed 45 minutes to get ready. I would be a wreck. But that's what happened. She got ready in 45 minutes. They were on time. And all day today, Emma Kellie, she was very nervous about going. And she's like, I'm not going to have any friends. I'm not going to know anybody. And I've been texting her, encouraging things all day long. And it's been going really well. I'm like, how's it going? She says, it's good. And then I'm like, what lunch period you get? I got a lunch. And, she's telling me all that. She said, but it was so bad she didn't have time to eat. She literally had a piece of bread with cheese in it. She said, I had 5 minutes to eat. That's all I had. And she said she stuffed, let me see what she said. She said, I have cookies and carrots in my bag that I didn't have time to eat. So we're going to probably pack her a lunch the next few days to get her used to that schedule. She had a sub in her Spanish class, so they're not doing anything, but that's her longest class. So she was kind of a little put out by that. But listen, y'all, she texted me this. Can you find out how to sign up for clubs? I want to join a couple. Y'all, you don't know. You don't have any idea what a big deal that is. So we're going to get Emma Kellie to sign up for clubs. I've been really pushing her to do drama, theater, something along those lines. I don't care what it is, as long as she joins a club, because I want her to have friends, because I want her to stay in the school so she keeps living with me. Because y'all know, earlier this year, she wanted to go move in with her dad. And not that her dad's a bad guy, not that, and of course her stepmom, we get along so great. But I'm not quite ready to give up my daughter at this point. I'm mentally prepared to have her leave me for college, but not in ninth grade. So I'm really praying about this, that she has a wonderful experience. And I was telling her last night, or even this morning, I was telling her, I said, you know what? You're going to be going to this school. It's a feeder school with all these other elementary and middle schools. Middle schools coming into it, because this is a 9th and 10th grade only high school. I said, 95% or even more of those kids don't know you. They don't have any impression of you. And this is your chance to start completely clean and fresh. This is such a wonderful opportunity. And I said, just go in there with, stand up straight, because that's her thing. She's always kind of caving into herself. Stand up straight, just smile, and I promise you it's going to be fine. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm really hopeful. Yesterday, we had to run by the school because I could not figure out how to get pop-up ads off of the school's website. And you have to pay this $10 fee for their pictures to get taken for their student IDs, which is also going to be used for the yearbook photo. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I called the lady at the school, and she said, it's easier if you just come by and pay it. So we went by, and she graciously let us walk the entire school. We got Emma Kellie's schedule, and we got to walk all of her classes. So I got to see where all of her classes were. But while we were there, this other girl came up to us. While I was talking to the receptionist, came up to Emma Kellie and said, hey, what classes do you have? Maybe we're in a couple. And was like so friendly to my daughter right off the bat. And I could see my daughter was a little bit, she's shy at first, and she kind of was a little bit, she showed her schedule and didn't really say much. But the smile that was on my daughter's face after that one little brief interaction made such a huge difference. And I really think it's going to be okay. And I'm just so excited that she wants to join a club. So okay. So here, one last thing, worst mom of the year. I can't take her in the mornings, right? So my thing is, she gets out of school at 4:15. That's late in the day. But 99% of the time, I'm going to be able to pick her up from school every day. So that's great, right? I don't get her at the beginning of the day when she's probably grumpy and doesn't want to talk a lot anyway. But at the end of the day, I'll get her when she's, a hormonal 14-year-old and still probably doesn't want to talk a lot, but maybe, right? So today is her very first day. I was so excited about picking her up from her first day at school. And while Emma Kellie and I were walking her schedule yesterday, I suddenly realized I have to be somewhere at 4:00 tomorrow. I have had this appointment on my books for 2 months. It's sort of, it's a happy hour, but a business type situation that I can't really get out of. It's a happy hour from 4 to 6, and then I'm supposed to stay for dinner. And I'm supposed to pick her up at 4:15. I was so upset. I almost swallowed my tongue. And I told Emma Kellie, I was like, I've got to call and see if I can bump this back. Maybe I can be late to this happy hour thing. And she said, Mom, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just, Dana, her stepmom, she said, I'm sure Dana can pick me up. And so she didn't seem like she was upset with me, but I'm upset with me. I was going to push it back, but I was like, oh no. So I'm going to this happy hour thing. But the whole time I'm going to be guilty because I want to sit down with Emma Kellie and, just deprogram her from the day and find out everything she did. And now I have to wait until later, but I'm really, really optimistic about how it's going. So y'all keep your fingers crossed and say prayers for me because I'm really, really feeling good about today. But yeah, I've got to get ready. I've got my hair washed. I've got my makeup done. I've just got to go dry my hair and get ready to go to this. It's sort of like an art meets wine kind of thing. I know you're like, how is that business? But it is. It's a business relationship. But the guy apparently is going to freehand and do some art while we're all drinking wines about the art. Does that make sense? So last week when we were in Florida, we did all these food and wine pairings. Now we're doing art and wine pairings, which sounds very frou-frou and fun. But since Alan is up in South Dakota, I thought he was coming back Saturday. I just found out he's not coming back till Sunday. So now I have a little bit more time to myself, which is fine. I think, it gives me time to be alone with my thoughts and, get a few things checked off my to-do list. Oh, one of the biggest now, our Keurig is finally biting the dust. Man, that thing, I told Alan, he said, you know what? It was a good run because working home all last year during the pandemic with both me and Alan going at that Keurig. I mean, we are huge coffee drinkers. We would put Lorelai Gilmore to shame. And that thing, it gave us a good run, but it's really acting up. So I got to go get a new Keurig. He's entrusting me with that errand. So I've got a few things to do. And hopefully I'm going to get to hang out. Emma Kellie's father, he's got a really cool job. I don't know if any of y'all remember Freddie from back in the day, but he's a stunt man and he's a stunt coordinator, but he's flying in. And I think he's going to have Emma Kellie this weekend. So I'm not even going to have her this weekend to kind of talk about it. But, that's part of the things of being divorced and, sharing custody of your kids. You get them for a lot of good stuff, but you miss a lot of good stuff too. But yeah, make it work somehow, right? All right. So if y'all don't mind, I know this is a super duper short podcast, but I didn't want to not do something. But I appreciate you all so much for understanding that I'm going to have to cut it short. Because my friend Amy, my best friend Amy from here in Texas is going to, y'all heard her on the podcast a few podcasts ago. She's going to go with me tonight. We're going to do a little catching up and have fun with wine and art. And next podcast, I promise, Alan will be back. I will be here. We will give you a full podcast. He's going to have so many stories to tell from Sturgis, South Dakota. If you are not already, and if you are not following Alan, we hope you're following us on all of our social medias. Alan's much better at social media than I am. I'm going to try to do better. I keep saying that, and I'm a liar because I don't. But he's at the Alonzo 1971, and it's the TheAlanzo 1971 if you want to follow him on Instagram. He's Alan Evans on Facebook. There's a few Alan Evans, but you can find him. Look for the handsome one. And he's keeping everybody posted with his very interesting adventures in South Dakota, including his trip yesterday to Mount Rushmore. That was really cool. We're definitely going to make that trip one day, hopefully in a nice air-conditioned luxury RV. That's the dream. But he beat me to it. But I'm really happy for him that he gets to do that. And of course, he's there helping Operation Once in a Lifetime raise some money. So it's all good. All good's here. But thank you. Thank you for hanging out and for listening to me literally ramble about my life, my daughter, and my life. It's all good. It's all good. And we'll be back next week, and it's going to be even better. Hopefully, I'll have some really good news to report about Emma Kellie's first few days in school by that point, too. So y'all take care. I love you desperately. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.